Hey folks, it's John P. and today we're going to talk about techniques for fixturing things to the table, specifically using various kinds of stops. Basically, we could boil it all down to three different types. First, we've got a pin stop. We've also got an edge stop. And then we've got various sizes, but these are all sliding stops. So we're going to go through all of this real quick. Let's start with the pin stops. Right here, I've got something fixtured up. It's real easy for me to undo this. Let's say we had to make a bunch of T-shaped things. Basically, I've got a couple of pieces of tubing. I want to get them in the right place. I'm going to stick it here and pull it over. I'm going to stick it here, pull it over. You know, it doesn't, this is a super simple one. It doesn't require much. Once I've got them in place, I'll put a little clamp on them. That'll hold them where they need to be, and we're done. Okay, now, there's good and bad with this. The bad is that, obviously the good is what you just saw. The bad is these little pins have a little bit of play in the holes, okay? So if I want to push up against it, it's always going to go to the same spot. That's easy, but it's not as secure as using some of the other techniques. So that's where we might come to these sliding stops. So the sliding stops, I can, let's say, put them up against this tubing, and I can pull this out. These stay where they were, so I can drop this back in. So if I had to make a bunch of these, you know, I just cut a bunch of the same size sections, and I can drop them in and out that way. The same thing applies between the sliding stop and the edge stop. These, we're just using the edge of the table as a positive fixture point. So I've got a couple here and I've got a couple here, and then on the inside, you know, we've got the sliding ones. Now, the question is, how do you attach these things? Okay, so first of all, the easiest way by far is with these little ball pins, and I've got another video about how these work. But basically, when there's a little ball, and when we screw this pin in, you see it pushes the ball out, and that is what allows it to lock in the side. Now, there's good and bad. These are super fast to use and super easy. They are a little more costly. These are like 20 bucks. So another option would be, certainly one option is just nuts and bolts. That's your cheapest option, but it's a little slower. Slightly quicker are these little threaded hole adapters. So you'll notice there's a magnet, and these are threaded. So what we can do is stick this on the inside here, and we're going to convert that hole into a bolt, into a nut, and then I can put my bolt right through there and just screw it in. And so I can tighten that up, obviously. But the much quicker way is to take that pin, stick it in the hole, and turn, and we're done. I mean, that is tight. That's not moving. Now, one thing you need to be aware of is these little ball locks come in different sizes. There's actually 3 different ones that we stock. For a standard table where we're using the 1/4 inch thick plate on the top, and we're attaching a 1/4 inch thick piece, then we need a 1/2 inch deep ball lock. 1/4 plus 1/4, right? But if you had a 3/8 inch top, for example, then you need a slightly longer. You need the 5/8 ball lock, and you can see the difference on these two. This one has 2 little rubber rings as opposed to 1, and it's just literally a little longer. So that one would attach 3/8 to 1/4 inch. If you were doing something else like a 1/2 inch thick top to other stuff, then we've got this one, which has a fully height adjustable. I mean, it could go from pretty small up to way over 1 inch thick of stuff being clamped together. So keep all that in mind. These are the cheap and easy ways to stop your material and be able to have a repeatable process while you're putting things together. So I hope that helped explain how it works. Drop any questions below if there's anything we can answer. Until then, thumbs up. I'm out of here. Bye. But wait, there's more. I forgot to tell you, in case you were wondering about this little V shape on top of these sliding stops, we did that so they can double as V blocks for round tubular material. So if you have a bunch of these, they can do lots of different things. In addition to, you know, normal fixturing like I just showed you, They can hold this kind of material. You can also even attach them to other things to reach up and support material in different directions. Okay, that's really it. Double thumbs up, I'm out.